Yeah. Might actually swap out the wet palette here. How's everyone doing, though? If anyone's in chat. Huh. I might also try to make Lamia medium. Lamia medium is just watered down matte medium, and I have satin matte glazing medium. So if I pre-water it down, I think it gets a little bit better. Okay. There we go. But yeah, we got to get the flat brown on. We got to do some fix-ups, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if we necessarily have to fix up a lot of areas till we're getting close to the end. We've got a lot of the weapons to do. I kind of preempted some of them. This is the claw that he holds up. I also pre-did some of the face masking. I think it'll be good. I think these will look awesome when they're done. Let me try to make some of this medium. Watered down Lamia, or rather watered down satin, which should act like Lamia. Oh. It's going to be hard to keep this on camera, I think. Gotta be kind of careful with this so flat because it can go on very opaque if you're not paying attention. In this stage, we basically utilize kind of what the airbrush left behind. We render into it the colors we actually want instead of the colors that sometimes it gets hit with. Like the purple's a main color that I apply. But you don't exactly want the purple everywhere. You want to be able to go into the non-metallic gold, which is where this brown starts. But you need it to be thin because if it gets too thick, it's going to cause problems in textures. I feel like on stream today, the only thing we're going to get done is the flat brown. And that's like barely enough. I am working off stream on it. Just because I do kind of really want these to be done. Got a tournament I signed up for next weekend. Don't know if I'm going to make it. But I just wanted to get my slot in there because they were like 2 slots out. Just not sure if I want to run Phoenician or if I want to run the Carnival, because I do have full tilt Noise Marines. I just need to come up with a game plan. Oh yeah. I kind of settled on how the magnetization is going to work. The main housing is magnetized for the weapons racks, but I actually just glued the las cannon housing on because it kind of looks almost universal. It's just like a lot of boxes and wires. And then I'll just change the actual barrels out based on if I need one thing or the other. The main problem is the missile launchers, because the missile launchers are like super thin. I don't even know if I airbrushed them now that I'm thinking about it. Did I completely forget to airbrush the missiles? I don't think I'll ever use them, but like, ugh. What you up to, Peacock? guys are gonna have to let me know in chat if like I'm unfocused on like the camera or something as I'm going. It's always a difficult time painting monsters and vehicles on stream. I gotta hyper focus on them, and sometimes the camera's like, yo dog, I want to focus on this brush real quick. We should probably put some purple on so I can get some corrective purple in as we go through it. This is also very key for like the purpose of sub-assembly. Like, this is one of the models where I would point to it and be like, yeah, you have to sub-assemble this. There's too many over-under areas. Sadly, I kind of want mine to feel airbrush lit, so you kind of have to build most of it. At least to the point where you're sure the airbrush is going to go. And I wanted the upper body to be more rendered. And then the lower body was fine for kind of like general lighting. No, he's not. I sub-assembled some parts. Like, I knew the masks were going to need to be sub-assembled because I wanted to do the backlighting. Usually whenever you have that moment in your head of like, oh yeah, that's going to be backlit. Yeah, you're sub-assembling that. $100 to assemble, Jack. God damn, these things. If you're just looking for basic assembly, it's not that bad. But like, you see what I did with all these claws and stuff, putting them on things? Yeah, that's... If you want that, that's when it gets difficult. Because I had to like... You cut off the support struts inside, and then you have to actually like pace it, place things in areas, design it to like actually settle in and fit, and it's just annoying. But normal build's not that bad, honestly. Yeah, like Jack, let me show you what sub-assembly we did here. Let me clear my blue tack out of this. Jeremy's broken. Well, the chest, I can do either for the chest. But yeah, we did this mask separate so that when we're done with some of the exterior painting, I'll be able to put it in and it'll look like it's glowing. Oh, here's what I did. I noticed that I had sprue goo, and I had those gargoyles. So I said, screw it. We do the little necklace relief, or that like chaos symbol relief, and then I just put the gargoyle heads in, because the gargoyle heads can be anything. I'll just let you know. I have two variants. I've got the small bulldog ones and then the longer ones on the other, so I can kind of, you know, be like, oh, the longer ones are going to be the Meltas if I need it. Right? Like if I weirdly use both the same loadouts. Like if you're going to go Melta, I imagine you go like Flamer Autocannon or like Flamer Melee. And then you go the two Meltas. So that was probably one of like the main conversion elements I did on this. I wanted to do more, but the more I was looking at it and the more I was like picking up and checking out like some of the cool Slanesh like symbols that I have and all that, and I'd go back to this and I'd try to put it on. The issue with this model is that they made the armor really rounded. So like the icons that I have from the Emperor's Children, like Tormentors and Infractors, they don't really settle onto the surface easy. So they didn't really design it with like exterior conversion in mind. If you don't have sprue goo, you might need it, because there's a little bit of a gap around the gargoyle heads into that necklace thing that it comes with, or the little chaos symbol. The sprue goo really like sealed it for me, which was nice. Maybe if you have green stuff, all you need is a tiny amount, really. Classic Forge and Mauler Fiend component here. I did it this way, but you can do it different ways. They give you both the armor. They give you two armors per thing, so you can have the gun. I just glued a magnet in here, then I glued a magnet in here. I might have to shave down the like push fit sides, but like that's pretty much my plan. I just have a really big magnet and a boatload of E6000. The only other option in my head is if you cut off the little nibs, you can actually put like a tiny magnet in the left and right side and then do the same on each gun, but like that's a lot of work. No, not my Corn Berserker hole. I need to grab... Where is my Space Wolf Russ Gray? Need something a little lighter. Pretty sure I already grabbed what I was going to use originally. There it is. The mask helmet thing you might just have to figure out the exact spot you're gonna need to put the magnet to make it work. It shouldn't be hard though. It's just the tiny head. I imagine putting a magnet in the dead center forehead would work because the mask sits there normally. So if you just get a tiny magnet there, you could probably swap them that way. Homemade, land me a medium. I mean, that's kind of the way to go. If my stylization for my Emperor's Children wasn't so extreme, I could easily just have been like, let me just paint these like my Thousand Sun ones. Call it a day. But yeah, I'll check the store, see if they'll have them. I mean, it's crazy to think that the store's got special orders in of like reorders for the Defilers. We didn't know that that was going to happen, right? Like we checked those websites and they never put up the reorder. So the fact that they called me today and were like, we got your Defilers in, I was like, what? I was about to call them too. Like, it was on my list of things to do this week because the assumption was these wouldn't be back in store anytime soon. So if I go there and I buy one, and then they're like, "Oh, you got your store gift card," I'm probably gonna buy the other one then. really does feel like a boss from Doom. Like a techno demon of some kind. But yeah, crazy times. I'm loving how it looks. I think we're going to do energy for these exhausts back here. I'm going to try to get most of the lower body stuff done with the lining before we go upper body with it. God, I'd almost want to paint this like on sprue. I don't know. It's like so weird. All the little details and layers, and all I can think is like, oh, if I just painted this back part without anything nearby, it would have been awesome. I'm glad I put the effort into the bases, though. The legs on this are very mobile once you destroy the struts that are inside, which I 100% was going to do. Vent pipes are great. They really did pull a lot of stuff though from like Chaos Knights for this. There's a like the leg armor feels like it's adapted from the knee armor, because like if you flip it upside down, this is kind of like the thigh armor for a knight. Like they did kind of like lean into just being like, it's whatever. Well, I will. Well, I will. I love that everyone over on friggin' YouTube's gonna be like, what the hell? Why is he singing that? I was just gonna spam the plot in you today. Try to get into that like Doom mindset with like some of their songs, not all of them. But nah, I kind of wanted the chill 90s mode today. Butt rock it is. So my main monitor died like a couple days ago, which sucked. I kind of figured it would though, because the other monitor that I bought at the exact same time died like last month. I just got my replacement in today. So many defilers. Buying new computer parts. Ugh. But yeah, I'm thinking Fulgrim and 2 of these bad boys. And then build the list out from there. Since these things have the super advanced scuttle, I think it actually could work. The question is, do I actually want to lean into the sustain on the guns? Like, do I want to go autocannons and still go carnival? And then only really use the melee for the anti-armor and anti-heavy stuff. I'll probably go plasma cannon on it still. Plasma cannon, autocannons. Get the sustain 2 on 5s with the Hades. That misprint isn't a specific thing, I think. Right? Because the it hits on 63 plus was, I think, specifically the World Eater information. You could tell they're struggle bussing in preparation for 11th. Like, they're just trying to get everything in order. Completely forgetting, like, they've still got to maintain what's already there. I don't know if I'm going into the right stuff with the Defiler for melee. I think it has to go into, like, monsters or vehicles, right? Like, it can't not go into monsters or vehicles. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like most of what my Defiler's done has been pretty, like, underwhelming. Granted, I've gone earlier than I really should have. I don't think I can go until turn 3 into Jack's army unless I think I can pick the entirety of what's on field up. Like, there's almost no way that I win that trade. And I mean, it gets even worse when you just 100% don't win the trade, like, at all. Like, I needed one of my plays beyond that opening play into his Terminators to succeed. And they just were all like, nah, bro, we fail. Sorry, man. We just gonna fail today. I just don't think... I don't think the Defiler is good in Thousand Suns. Comparative to, like... Because, like, it doesn't, like, fill the gap at all. Like, there's no gap for it to, like, take the place of. No, yeah, its melee is not going to do well. I think if you give it the extra melee attacks, then it's, like, better, just in general. But I think I'm in a world where my list might be, like, 3 Noise Marine squads, 2 of these with Hades autocannons and plasma cannons, Fulgrim, and then a bunch of demons. I think that might be, like, a list I want to try. for Carnival, just so I can get the sustain 2s on 5s, all the different Noise Marines with sustains on 5s, Fulgrim with sustains on 5s. Like, I'm just going to over inundate that nonsense. But again, I play for freaking command point starvation because I try to go so early and it's annoying. Gonna have to start practicing the patience of being like, you know what, I'm cool taking way less points this turn. Like, we've watched enough War Games live for me to see professionals not get above the 30-point marker until like turn 5. Like, people who know what they're doing, who are just like, it's not worth losing people, and if they grab points in turn 3 or 2, they're going to open themselves up for me just ripping them off the board, and it's fine. Just need the patience. It's hard into Eldari, though. I got to figure out the Eldari trick. Because Eldari, you can just be like, alright, we're out here, alright, we're gone. That's why that one guy we saw who plays Thousand Suns played the way he did with the magic detachment, where he's just like bulk enlightened and chaos spawn. It's just because he's constantly getting out there to counteract the stickies. Call it a day. I just don't know what I want to go for, though. We go for Phoenician. I kind of limit myself a little bit. But I do get access to that one command point ploy that makes the Hades autocannons like strength 10 AP2. What up, Jack? Word bearers. I mean, maybe. Well, there was rumor of word bearers stuff soon. If not, I guess invest in a Dremel tool that's really fine. Maybe like a jewel cutter's tool or something. Make your own word bearer armor. Yeah, the trading pieces thing is important. I get it. I just got to figure out if I can even have trading pieces for Emperor's Children. I think the only ones I really have are the Infractors. That's the big thing. That's what I know they use. Although I know Lenin usually shows that, like, if you're going to trade something, you're probably going to want it to be like a solo cacophonist. But, like, I could see myself trying to use my Chaos Spawn for trade. I don't mind playing aggressive with my spawn if I get a mission for them. But I always feel like they're like never where they need to be until like they're almost like just chilling, and I try to use them at some point to like counter someone from scoring, because they'll do like, oh, I'm 1 OC on point, and I'm like, all right, cool, let me tie with you so that you don't get your score next turn, and then they're dead. But like they never get missions done, which I guess for the tiny amount of points they cost is fine. I suppose there are better moments to trade with them. Also, I'm still not 100% on what good matchups are for them, where like I can get something done and also do something else over here. I've had them do well randomly, and it's like, that's kind of cool. But then I've also had them die to like the most inconsequential nonsense while getting no points. No, legs are not magnetized on this because I wanted them to be in this exact position. You could, in theory, magnetize them. Could buy like a ball magnet and then one of those little like reverse concave dome magnets. Could be pretty cool. And that's a phone call. Yeah, and I like the Emperor's Children ones for that, because the Emperor's Children ones have reactive move. It makes them really good at like getting out there and being like, no. And then when the enemy's like, I got you now, and you just kind of vanish. I mean, it is what it is. So I think I do need to figure out how to put like 1 or 2 of those. Maybe just 1. Into my Carnival list or my Phoenician list, depending. No, yeah, the DP play could work, but like no one really uses the on foot DP for EC at all. Although he is kind of good in Peerless. I think it would be with Lucius. But I don't know if I step out in the middle with Lucius. Lucius is more of like an expansion point guy. God, Lucius is going to suck when fights first changes. Yeah, he can't go mid, but we like EC doesn't really have like a mid tank outside of like not even the Terminator squad's good for going to mid. It's only 5 dudes. Like if it was 10 dudes maybe, but it's just 5 dudes. Yeah, the DP on foot might be the best option. Question is, I gotta get one. No, yeah, Lennon's just like, let me huck this out here and see if it works. Like, the amount of times I've seen him just be like, and just like chuck something into the open. And I'm like, whoa. Like, that man straight up gave up a cacophonist for 5 points. That was his game plan. Well, the main thing I keep looking at is the whole idea of like you don't need to worry about how shit your rolls are if you're not relying on like rolling. And it's like, well, that's a weird way to look at it because you are going to need to at some point roll something. But in my head, that's just like get maybe like 4 or 5 like trade units easy. Get them together and then just like trade for points while hiding all of your big stuff to the best of your ability, and then in turn like 4, maybe 5 is when you actually go always, which feels weird. Yeah, I did the magnetization for the barrels. I can do the flamer, I can do the autocannon, I can do the las cannons. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the missile launchers though. I don't even really want the missile launchers, but maybe it'll be worth it later on. All right, I'm back. God, so many phone calls. I just want to paint the flats. We're so close, chat. Let me get some more of this blue out. Yeah, Jack dropped his DSTs. I went because, like you were even saying while we were getting ready, you were like, that's fights first. And we were like, all right, cool. Ugh, hang on. Because, like, that's what a lot of the game is like, figuring out the puzzle, right? Like, decent fights first, unit goes mid. What do you do? It's sitting behind a wall, being an extreme, which is an extremely good position for something like that. What do you do? And then, yeah, you got to figure it out. I think for that whole game, I managed to get through all of your, like, ablative wounds. Like, I genuinely liked where my Defiler was. I was completely cool with him sitting there and just threatening that whole area. But had to go. I don't know, man. It's a whole different game when I'm not just like, let me put all my Terminators in mid real quick. The one strategy that army actually has. Shove Terminators mid. I mean, either way, end of the day, the honestly, the Thousand Suns vehicle detachment is just like not good. I think the best you can do is over inundate like a couple vehicles to be okay, and then you just need to like hyper saturate on things like Chaos Spawn and Enlighten to just send places and capture points and make trades. Like leaning into it as hard as I did with like the Forge Fiends and everything, it's just not worth. You just don't have enough annoying mechanics. I think I just need to make the adjustment. Like what I brought shouldn't have been what I had. I probably should have used at 1K the Flamer Marines. The freaking rubrics. Like, if you don't have the mechanical stuff to do anything, what are you doing? No, yeah. I don't know how we rectify that playing 2v2s without, like, a lot of predetermination. Like, I think when you and me were on team and we were talking to each other beforehand of, like, I'm going to have this, it'll handle this. It's just nowhere near as simple. No, yeah. The normal trade pieces that I know Lennon talks about are infractors, but I also do believe Chaos Spawn are great for that. The issue is in Carnival, I do think I need... I want to say Seekers, because those are great for the speed that they have to be able to get out there, trade, get some points. But I don't know. Which, honestly, I'm okay doing one squad Noise Marines. If I'm being real, it's T5 at, I think, less wounds, right? 6 total. So 12 wounds versus the 18. Even with the Cacophonist, it's still less wounds at less toughness. I mean, it's less points, of course. I think. It's actually probably close in points. But it's also, if I'm playing Carnival, the Noise Marines are only sustain 1, whereas this with Hades autocannons is sustain 2. Which is just drastically better when you're sustaining on 5s. And if I shoot at you with full health with this, I'm hitting you on 2s. Which is already better than most of the other frickin' defilers for the other factions. So I'm thinking it would be like a squad of tormentors for backline, maybe 2 infractors squads, probably exultant lead, 2 chaos spawn, and then 2 of these in Fulgrim, and then I would just have to fill with demons. If I'm going Carnival. If I'm going Phoenician, like if that's already 2K, then I'm probably just going to go straight Phoenician after that. No reason to go Carnival. That way Fulgrim can just use a command point for free for either go through walls or whatever the other bonus he can get is. And then these things can just go through the walls as well, and if they go in solo, they get like big melee bonuses. If I need to shoot with the Hades autocannons into something that's in cover and they're like, well, at least I'm in cover, it's AP 0, I just turn on the frickin' super damage if I'm within 12, and it's like so much damage output potential, man. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, it's the lethal hits that, like, help a bit. They give the squads lethal hits, and the squads at small scale swing, like, frickin' 30-something times. So lethal hits in them is usually a really good idea to try to fit if you can. And I think with most of my armies, I'm just at that point where it's like, oh, you're going to give up Assassinate if you do that. And I'm like, yep. Like, I'm almost just like, yeah, you're going to get Assassinate when you play any of my lists at this point. It's like, what else am I going to do, man? If my opponent doesn't, yeah, you don't stand on points with them. You usually go in and replace. Like, the Chaos Spawn are what goes in first, of course. Let me get some. Yep. Get some medium down. Let me actually do a more reduced in scale brush. Do you like my pasty blue demon skin? Oh. Pale blue colored eyes. God, I love me a flesh tone Zangor. I still gotta finish those. I don't know, just having little bits of fun like that. Just chucking flesh tone Zangors into the mix. That's why I think an entire army of orcs done in flesh tone would be great. It'd be legendary. Just take that to one tournament. From a distance, everyone thinks it's an Imperial Guard army. This is also a part that you should probably sub-assemble. Don't put like the top armor on, because there's this like weird little pocket here between the metal and the skin that might be worth painting on its own. get that this area back here is minimal visibility, but still kind of want to paint it okay. I'm impressed. I only had to unclog my brush once while I was getting all this painted up. The gallery brush is doing okay. I'm glad I picked up that sponsorship, despite knowing that I'm not really a hobby channel necessarily. I mean, we do hobby stuff, of course. But yeah, I kind of knew that they weren't going to get anything from my viewership in terms of sales, but I'll tell people they're pretty good as a company going forward if people are looking for airbrushes. I'm happy with the results. Gargoyle head idea was great because it looks perfect for it. It actually looks like it fits. Well, you gotta make the call. If you're gonna go movable, it's, I think, a bit more difficult. Although, technically, I guess, you could probably find a magnet marble that's the size that fits perfectly in there. I don't know what that size would be offhand. And then you could cut the barrels off of all of those guns, because I don't know if there's a way you get those guns in there and it still looks cool. I mean, you just have to not put this like chaos ring around it, right? Like that's basically it. You just can't put the chaos ring around, and then you have to figure out internally like to put a magnet at the back and then put the little balls in a way where you just snap them in, and then I guess that's fine. But like, I don't know. Either way, you don't get the ring. I know you can't. Like it's. I think the engineering way to get the ring is to almost like reprint the ring in like metal, and then put a magnet near like the top on the backside of the armor. That way you can put like the movable gun in, and then the ring itself is magnetized to the surface to hold the gun on. Like, I don't know how else to do that, honestly. Will I slide? I mean, maybe. Gargoyle heads are big, though. And honestly, like I said, if you're building for close, you could say that you have the Melta variant. There's almost no reason to not take Melta if you're just planning to be in people's faces with these vehicles. Yeah, those are the ones I have. They came with in the Rhino box, I think, right? It's the ones you're talking about. They're meant for las cannon barrels, heavy bolter barrels, which is still pretty tiny comparative. Yeah, it's the ones I used. They just perfectly fit in the nipple gun slot. Ugh. We're in the nitty gritty of trying to make sure we don't hit the wrong stuff with this color. And then there's a whole other ones. I think we focus on the flats in this situation. I think between the skin, the purple, and the gold. And then at some point here, we are going to need to follow up with a Pro Acryl white to mark out certain energy things, I think. I do kind of want to glue the mask in as soon as possible, though, but I really shouldn't touch too much of it until we get most of the rendering done. I just think it would look so cool. Saw someone on a short make a fluorescent like ink wash using fluorescent pigment, kind of like what I use on my bases. And like normally when I look at the fluorescent glow effects for like recesses and stuff, it's always like you have to start white and then work backwards kind of deal to like the kind of fluorescent you want and all that. But like the way they did it, they just kind of like put this ink they made into the recess and it just immediately turned it into like a fluorescent glow. Pretty cool. I feel like that's the next place we're gonna go, is people learning how to use mediums really well in their work, because that's what it was. It was just putting pigment from like the mica based extremely bright fluorescent pigments into a medium that allowed it to do what it needed to do. be kind of careful here. It's kind of more about the edge. God, I'm gonna have to do this one more time. Hate it. Oh yeah, there's a Space Marine helmet on this. Chat real quick, which chapter? Which chapter do we put on it? no, no one's in chat to vote. Nice. Oh. Back to the tiny brush. almost done the trim on one of them. So close. What up, Dior? Oh, you're actually making it so the head rotates. Nice. Whew. All right. Brown lining done on one of them. So I think we're gonna, on the next one, we'll do flesh first. That seems to be the way to go. Make sure all the flesh is back to blue, and then we'll work backwards. Just chilling, Dior. That's good. Well, you doing this to one of them, Case, or you doing two at the same time? And are you going to magnetize the legs? And then are you going to magnetize it to the base so that you could remove it from the base and then, like, have it be something that sits off to the side and you can, like, pose it to look cool? Telling you, man, if I knew the part number, I would have bought the Bandai Namco style, like, joints that they usually have. that they put in their like fully articulate like little models. Because that is what this looks like. It's got that energy about it. If you paint behind the mask in like a really serious, awesome fashion, you can always be like, oh, I'm bracketed. And then knock the mask off. I kind of wish I did that with Magnus. I feel like I was in a prime opportunity to make Magnus be able to like swap. Glaze skin. Playing anything fun, Dior? Saw you in a Player Essence's stream. Dude, I'm just ecstatic that as Emperor's children, we got our hands on a fucking new vehicle. Thank God. Oh. Genuinely thought they were gonna like keep us in the dark for a while with new vehicles. Genuinely thought they were just like, you guys don't really need firepower. There's one guy that does okay at tournaments. That means all of you should be okay. feel like everyone that runs 2 Mauler Fiends is about to drop both of them for one of these. Baseline blue skin, just about done. What da 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 da. Take a look at something here, though. Oh, I did this wrong on the other one. Couldn't see it because of the airbrush. But I guess the way the back works is it's like all skin. And then there's just like one purple ring that pulls it into the little motor back here. I don't think I really have lore about this for me. I mean, the whole army, the whole idea for the EC that I have in their return is like basically the warp ripping open and just kind of spitting them out back into the world. An army out of time, basically. wait that first glaze to finish up. Go back in, try again. There's also a couple other spots I need to hit with the brown. I believe in you, Case. I believe in you. I believe. work on the rest of this back stuff in a second. Wait, how are you going to do the caissons one? Because the caissons one is a mask and like a topside thing. The overhang. That thing is what makes it the caissons one, honestly. That's the true test. How do you figure that out? Ah, okay. Didn't know you were just gonna, I don't know, half-ass it or whatever. That's honestly for the best, probably. I don't think it's really that worth to like have to go back in and figure out how to do like a little corner magnet. Kind of meaningless. Time is it? 8 o'clock? Jesus. dry for a little bit. We just out here glazing. I mean, that's kind of the way to do it. Do Black Legion, general armor. Maybe try to make the plates look almost obsidian or something. And then do the masks and the Pantheon. Easily see myself doing a bunch of this off stream tonight after I'm done editing. Spending too much money, man. These two defilers. Getting a lot of stuff for my display case. I had to buy a new monitor because mine died. Super not fun. Which direction do you have your defiler looking? Left or right? Which body you go with? One has more spikes on it than the other. Or like a true psycho, did you magnetize that part to be able to be like, oh, I want them to look left this time, then you just pop them off? Which in theory could work, because each have their own pipes, each have their own like pistons. So technically you just glue the pistons on. And you could probably pop them off and then snap them in the other direction. Could be cool. I think what blue variant is right leaning, like the right turn. I'm trying to remember. Whew. I actually don't think we finished the brown tonight on stream. I'm gonna have to do it after. I wasn't even planning on doing it with the weapons tonight. I was like, that might not work. get some of the big pieces out of the way here. this was like every high school dance song. Yeah, let's just hit the big stuff before I bail. Probably gonna have to get off here soon. Get these nipple gargoyles on. Nip goyles. God damn, this song. This is my jam. To those over on YouTube, save tonight. That's what I'm referencing over on Twitch. Yeah, I think so. I got too much freaking going on with the parents coming back up from Florida. And then the following weekend, I got a tournament that I'm currently signed up for that Saturday. So I'm probably going to be out for that too, because I'm not going to want to stay up till freaking 7 a.m. with you guys. Only to immediately have to go to a tournament the other direction from your house. Literally the exact opposite direction. If it was the other one further north, maybe. Done come tomorrow. Alright, let me quickly fix this one up. Yeah, because is Aaron still doing his house shopping on Fridays? He's just not going to be able to be there. Got the feeling Max will be up there with a Lord of Skulls Defiler combo. Karn in a full-size squad. That's it. Probably play 4 of those games in a night. Play your Blood Angels, but play them like World Eaters. Be like, I'm going to use my World Eaters rules. Drakari's doing okay at tournaments. Their stats are apparently better than Aldari right now. Decent little 40%. I wonder if they're going to preload the new detachments before 11th drop so we can kind of like get a peek at some stuff and be like, oh, this might be cool. Because there's enough crossover with the rules. I mean, there's some alterations, I guess. But I imagine like some of the terminology would still work. CSM detachment? The one that I play is the Vashdor one, the old one, Soulforged. I haven't even looked at the new one yet. I heard the new one's pretty good. But I like Soulforge. Now, I say that knowing full well that every time I've played Soulforge, the most damage that's ever been done to me is by me. So it's pretty good. I'm just a huge fan of tanks in general. Yeah, I heard the Cult of Arcfane looks good. I like the extreme variance in basically you being like completely good with huge damage output, or oh my god, I've completely destroyed myself, that you get out of Soul Forge. That's what makes it fun for me. Fun in air quotes. Of course. I mean, 5+ invulnerable for vehicles, you just get, right? It is the you can take regular vehicles as demons, right? Like, that's just the built-in now for that detachment. I think that's mostly about, what, the Predators and the Vindicator to get, like, full bonus or something. Yeah, that's where it would be at, I think. I mean, it gives the Hellbrutes an invul, and then you do occasionally at least want Hellbrutes in CSM for that, like, extra aura function, so that's nice that you guys get the 5+ invuln that I already get as a Thousand Suns player. I guess that's fine. What's up, Frost? I'm doing alright. One? What's this one you speak of? I'm in danger. Ugh. actually. No, I haven't finished a chest gun yet. Brown flats are done. On this one, at least. We got to finish them up on the other. I still am wondering what kind of detachment you want the little Space Marine helmet to be. Oh. Exocrine and Tyrannofex, nice. We have a few people locally who play Tyranid. So it's kind of fun. Think an Ultramarine? I could do that. There's really not going to be a lot of blue in this model, so I imagine that might be okay. Time is it? 8:42. I should probably get moving. We're gonna have to hard stream tomorrow. Like, we're gonna go crazy tomorrow. I might do a long one, honestly. Because I want to get these weapons, at least the primary weapons, done. Ooh, Grey Knight Hunters. Nice. But yeah, then we got to finish the masks up. I'm going to do a bit off stream today, in between editing. Because I do think these need to get moved on a bit faster. And then we'll go from there. I might finish the masks up, honestly. That might be the best play. We gotta do the eyes, and then we gotta do the hot glowing mouth. And we'll be all good. Your old Grey Knight buddy. Buddy in air quotes. Yep, I'm gonna clean up around here a little bit. I gotta do dishes. Honestly, I gotta clear some dishes out. Get a couple things organized. And yeah, we'll probably do a decently long stream tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're new, check out the Discord. It's usually where I'll announce if I go live. I also post pictures of some stuff that I'm working on. So you'll get some higher res images of this there. But this is pretty good. I genuinely wish this was a proper loadout. Dude, come on. Do it, Games Workshop. Pull the trigger. This is the most Slaanesh this could be. But yeah. Till tomorrow, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Later.